Okay, so Corporate Transparency Act. Tell me, what is it? Where'd it come from?
Well, the law was passed under the Trump administration. What happened was President Trump vetoed the bill, and then it went back to Congress, and Congress overrode his veto. It was supposed to take effect in January of 2021, but the U.S. Treasury kicked the can down the road, and it finally became effective January 1 of 2024. Most people don't know about it because the federal government really hasn't done a good job as far as getting the word out. And so I meet with clients, business clients every day, and I say, hey, look, let me tell you about the Corporate Transparency Act. And the response back to me is, what is that? So it's not very well known.
Yeah. And what exactly is the act requiring now?
Okay, well,
and where, and I guess two questions on that, like, and what prompted it? Because of course there's always something that prompts these things, but
well, I sort of refer to this new law as slicing a tomato with a sledgehammer. It was thought that it was going to be something to help curb terrorism or money laundering or whatever, but most of the time criminals don't comply with the law anyhow, and so what has happened is it's really affecting a lot of mom and pop companies. And what I mean by mom and pop, there's a lot of entities that are exempt: banks, venture capitalists, basically the big guys.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always the little guys that sort of get trounced on. But in essence, here's the exception that your business owners need to sort of focus in on, and most do not fit this two-pronged test. But if you've got more than 20 full-time employees and more than $5 million of gross revenue as reported on your tax return, then you're exempt. But you have to meet both prongs. And I have some clients that they meet the $5 million or more, but they don't meet the 21 employees, or full time, or maybe they meet the employee part of it, but they don't meet the $5 million. And if you're close, let's say you've got 21 employees, but sometimes it goes down to 19, or maybe last year you had $5.2 million of gross revenue as reported on your tax return, but this year you're maybe trending towards 4.8 or 4.9. I call those people fence sitters. And if you're sitting on the fence, you just need to go ahead and comply with the law and file the form.
It would make sense.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Eric. Failure to comply with this, and first of all, you've got to understand who you have to register with. This is a federal law, not a state law, but a federal law.
Okay.
And it's with a division of the U.S. Treasury, okay? And the division of the U.S. Treasury is called FinCEN. What is FinCEN? It's the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the U.S. Treasury. Financial Crimes Enforcement. So you're dealing with a criminal division of the U.S. Treasury, which is a federal agency, which should just get your attention, boom, right off the bat.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, the form is relatively easy, but the thing about it is this: who gets to be put on this form? And the form is called a BOI form. And the federal government's, all about acronyms. And BOI stands for Beneficial Ownership Information Form. All right. And who has to be included on this form? Well, any shareholder that has more than 25%. All right. That's easy. Any officer and director or manager, if it's an LLC. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Then it goes a step further. Anybody that has maybe substantial control. For example, let's just say that a parent sold their business to their son or daughter, but yet he comes in every day and he calls the shots. And he tells the son, all right, well, we need to do this. We need to fire this person. We need to hire that person. Well, that person also has to be included on the form. So there's a broad definition that includes a lot of different people, and it's a little bit confusing. Also, let's just say that you're getting some of the profits from the company, or maybe you gave a promissory note to the company that's convertible into stock. Well, that person that that owns that promissory note, that lender, also has to be included on the form. Now, it even gets more complicated.
Go back on that one again. So if I bought a business, let's say I bought a business, and the person I bought the business from, we did a seller financing deal.
Right.
Right. So who would they have to be named on that beneficial form?
No, if they're truly a lender, but if they have a promissory note that has a convertible feature, in other words, they can convert it back into stock or something like that, then they might have to be included on that form.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And now here's the downside to not including these people on the form, or failing to file, or failure to do it properly. It's a $500 a day penalty, up to $10,000.
Oh my God.
But it gets better. It gets better. It can also include up to 2 years in prison. Because remember, this is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Division of the U.S. Treasury. So there's a criminal aspect to this law. Now, who has to file and when?
Yeah.
All right. If you've got a corporation that existed, it's either a corporation, LLC, Inc., limited partnership, anything that's filed with the state. If it was created prior to this year, all right, prior to January 1, 2024, you got the rest of the year to do this. So you got to do it before January 1, 2025. All right.
Okay.
So there's time. Easy peasy.